My symptoms really started in 2017, right around the August time of year. I love being outside. I'm an avid hunter, just like being outside. I didn't notice anything at first. I felt good. I was getting ready for deer hunting and everything was normal. Shortly towards the end of the year, I just started feeling really lazy. I got tired real easy. I started getting headaches every single day. I would wake up with a headache. My balance was off. It was just kind of a mess. Motion sickness was terrible. I'd have two beers. Felt like I had 15. It was just really off. So I started going to chiropractors. They were kind of thinking that maybe tension headache related. So I was getting adjusted 2, maybe sometimes 3 times a week, just to try to get it, and nothing helped. Ended up going to a kind of a specialist who was adjusting my atlas bone at the base of the skull.
Okay. So we go to the second doctor then, who's adjusted more upper cervical.
After I did that for probably 2-3 months, and it may have improved a little bit, but nothing that was.
So are we getting to kind
dramatic.
of spring, summer by now, or the next year?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So then kind of in between there, I was also doing some medical doctors. I went to a medical doctor. First thing they did, put me on some muscle relaxers, some actual nerve pills that are supposed to do something with the nerve. Well, they made me feel so lousy and crummy. So I took them for maybe a month. And I stopped taking that. I went back in. I saw the same doctor, and he ordered a CT scan and MRI. So I did all that. They came back. They found slight arthritis in my neck. So that's what they found. And obviously, a 5-year-old probably has slight arthritis in it.
Yeah, nothing that we would think would cause the severity of your symptoms, right?
Right. So from there, he recommended doing a neck injection to try to pinpoint some of the nerve pain or whatever was going on. So I had that. Lasted maybe 2 weeks. And then in the meantime, I just started noticing that my eyes were just really goofy. It's like they weren't working together. One would just kind of start floating off, and I'd start seeing double and just all kinds of stuff. So I went to an eye doctor, had an exam.
Okay. So we're on to like Doctor 4 or 5 by now. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm probably missing one someplace in there.
Yeah.
So she gave me a referral to see vision therapist, McDonald's Eye Care.
Yep.
I did the therapy for probably close to 6 months. Every week I was up there. I'd make little gains to where they thought I was making progress. But again, I was still having the headaches. My eyes were still all goofy. The motion sickness was still terrible. So I had a progress check up there after like 4 or 5 months or whatever it was. And the doctor said, you've made some progress, but not really where we want to see you.
Yeah.
And she said, have you ever thought about Lyme's disease? I don't know. I've been to all these doctors, all these specialists, and
that was the first time. That was the first time. And you're probably a year and a half later by that point?
Yeah, roughly. Yep.
Okay.
And so no one has ever done any blood work. No one has ever mentioned any of that. So after that, I was kind of at a low. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to. Nothing was helping. So it was probably about a month, 2 months after that is when I called you guys, because they referred me to you guys, and we did it.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing some of the story there. And that's, pretty common in that it's not the first thing people think of But, when I think of mysterious pain, mysterious nerve problems, in Minnesota and Wisconsin, any kind of tick infested part, I think it needs to come to people's minds sooner. And obviously,
Right.
you being a hunter certainly have some exposure, right? It's not, a lot of people, it's not that out of the blue. They like being outdoors.
I love being outside. I love being outside. And when all this started, it's like I just didn't even want to leave the couch. And I mean, like, what is going on here?
Right.
And no one had any ideas. Yeah, it was it was frustrating for a lot
For
of months.
a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we didn't remember taking a specific tick off. It wasn't like you
No.
pulled off a big engorged tick and
No. Typically you hear about the bullseye,
yeah.
but I had nothing.
Yeah, about half the people we see have no bullseye and have no they didn't, it's not like you pulled off a tick. Some people can tell me on this date I pulled off a tick and
Right.
but a lot of people can't. A lot of people go, I don't ever remember the specific, bite. And that was for you. And maybe that's why it took a little longer. But so if I kind of then fast forward, so you started seeing us and we ran some testing.
Yep.
We found a couple tick-borne things, right?
A,
How many
a
did we
lot.
originally find in you?
I thought it was 3. I had just about everything.
We had 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long did it take to feel better, and how are you doing? How are you doing now?
Yeah. I feel really good right now. I feel like I'm prior to 2017. There's a few things that I'm noticing yet that still aren't quite 100% yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
the fact that I'm helping my kids coach baseball, I'm playing in the backyard with the kids.
Yeah.
I'm living my life.
We're back to being dad. We're back to working. We're back to doing all these
Yes.
things.
Yep. So from really the first time we tested to
Yeah.
when I got the I'm clear, it was about 18 months. And I was a
Yeah.
longer one from what you were saying.
Yeah, we tell most people that 12 to 18 month range is pretty common. And you were a little on the slow side, not dramatically slow, but a little bit on the slow side.
Yep.
But how long ago was that now?
It was like July of 19 or something like that.
You've been pretty functional now and we've just kind of kept in touch, occasionally here, trying to
Yep.
keep working on being healthy. But you've really been living, pretty healthy life for, a couple of years now after Lyme. And that's one of the
Yep.
messages I wanted to have you on, is because some people, think, well, I can never get better. I can never be healthy again. You're kind of a
You
living
can.
testament to you can.
Absolutely. And I mean, yes, there's a lot of testing, but like you
Yeah.
always said, if you don't do the testing, you don't know what you're fighting.
Yeah, and we didn't, you had 3 things. It wasn't like we killed all 3 in one swoop. It was,
Right.
okay, we got this one. Okay, still had that one. Okay, we got the next one. Yay. Okay. So it took a little bit of, test and retest, and we figured that part out. Yay. But this part we didn't figure out, so we had to make adjustments along the way. And you were
Yep.
kind of that kind of classical, what I think of as, okay, that's the way it's probably going to go.
Right.
Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything else you want to
Absolutely.
share? Just in closing, to anyone who might be sick and just wondering
If
if they can be better.
if you are in any doubt, call. If they can't help you, they know somebody that can help you. I would not hesitate one bit to come back here again with any sort of problems. Nothing was put in my body that is not good for it. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But I thank you for everything that you guys did. You really saved my life from who knows what it could have been. I started tearing up last night when I was doing some of this stuff because it was a long journey for me and I was lost for quite a long time. But yeah, these guys are great at restorative. I would recommend to anybody.
Well, thank you so much, Tim. And I'm happy for you and for your family, and just that you're part of it. In a way you weren't for a period of time, because your health really stopped you from being what you wanted to do. But it's so fun to talk to you now and just hear about all the things you're doing. So thanks for taking the time to, talk with me today.
Yeah, you bet.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Yep. See ya.